This is how to create a clean edge around your Afghan or Tunisian panel. It doesn't matter which stitch you're using. We want to have a clean edge on the bottom, a nice crocheted chain along the bottom, the top, along your dominant edge, but also along the non-dominant edge, so that way your panel is complete. You can use or add an extra edging if you want, whether it's a baby blanket or a panel, or you have it all ready to go as it is. Even with the scarf, you have a nice clean edging. Now normally you use an Afghan hook. This one is a J hook. And then you begin with a regular crochet hook, a size at least smaller. This is an I. I've worked my foundation chain loosely with my I hook, and normally I would then switch over to the crochet hook. To the Afghan hook, but since I'm working such a small swatch, I'm going to keep working on my regular crochet hook. I'm just using a basic Afghan stitch, and I'm working under the back bump, the back loop, and just pulling the loops on my hook, and you can see you have a nice clean chain edge along the bottom. Now when you get to your last loop, and this is something different, we're going to add a loop. We're going to put a yarn over, adding a loop, and then we're going into that final chain. So we've added a loop. We have our nice clean edging on the bottom. This is also different. You are not going to go under just one loop. You're doing a yarn over and going under 2 loops off the hook, and you work that way all the way across. You never just do 1 loop at the edge. It's always now 2 loops off your hook until you get down to your final loop on the hook. And since I'm just going to be working a basic Afghan stitch, I'm going under that front vertical bar, pulling a yarn over and pulling it under to add it to my hook. And we continue across the row, and always remember to do your last stitch, and this is the last vertical bar. Now when I get to the end, I'm going to be working under the front and that back stitch that makes it like a little chain stitch. And it doesn't matter which stitch you're doing. If it's a purl stitch, you do not work that type of a stitch at the very edge. You go under the 2 stitches, do your yarn over, and pull through those 2. And you can see a chain edging beginning to start. And again, cast off, yarn over, pull it through 2, all the way across. And we're going to do 1 more row, and then bind off. So I'm going under that vertical bar again and casting on all the way across. And as I said, it doesn't matter what type of stitch you're using. When you get to the last one, after you've completed your last stitch, we're now going under that front loop and the back loop. So we've got like that little chain at the very end, and you are just doing a yarn over, pulling through under that one. And then you can continue to work whatever your stitch is in between. I'm doing a yarn over again, casting it off, pulling through 2 loops. And you would continue that way until your panel or section is complete. And you can already see you have a nice chain edging at the bottom. You have a chain edging on your dominant side, but you also have a nice finished chain edging on your non-dominant side. Now to cast off, you would work to the end and then remove your Afghan hook. And now across the top you would change back to your regular crochet hook. You would go under that front top vertical bar, and you have a choice. You can either do a single crochet, which is a yarn over, pull under, and complete your single crochet. Many people prefer that stitch. I personally prefer slip stitch. So I will be working, going under that front vertical bar, pulling it through both stitches. And again, it doesn't matter what stitch I've used, even if I've used a purl stitch or whatever. This is the way I end off. So I get that nice clean edge at the top. Don't forget your last vertical bar. And when you finish that, go under those 2 chains at the end and complete another slip stitch. And now you have a clean little panel with your chain at the top, at the bottom, along your dominant hand side, and along your non-dominant hand side. If you would like to see any written instructions, just please go to simpleandsensational.com.